I wanted to spare you days of training, hours of reading books, studying and researching tact planning. In this presentation, we'll boil down all the fundamental principles of tact planning in 30 minutes. To boil it down into the bare basics, tact planning is all about rhythm, continuity, and consistency. Tact planning creates rhythm by breaking work into equalized batches. It creates uninterrupted trade flow through balanced work areas. And it makes the plan easier to understand and brings issues to the surface. Takt is a German word meaning rhythm, cadence, or beat. Tact planning and construction draws inspiration from the principles and methodologies that have been developed and refined in manufacturing over recent decades. Construction has historically lagged behind manufacturing in terms of process and technology. However, we are now witnessing the beginning of a revolution involving prefabrication, automation, and robotics on job sites. By applying manufacturing principles to construction, tact planning seeks to create a steady and balanced rhythm of work, similar to an assembly line. However, instead of products moving down an assembly line, installers move through the job site, following a synchronized and optimized workflow. Tact planning brings a steady rhythm to projects, ensuring workflows with predictable consistency, not too fast, not too slow. Similar to running a long race, the best results are achieved with a consistent and sustainable pace. Pushing or rushing work only leads to eventual burnout and exhaustion. By following the conductor's baton in an orchestra, musicians can perform in perfect unison and harmony. In this guide, we will demonstrate how to create balanced schedules with equalized tasks and work areas to ensure that all trades are marching to the steady beat of the same drummer. It's important to acknowledge that CPM schedules still offer numerous benefits when it comes to managing massive and complex projects. Here are some of the strengths of CPM. Identification of critical paths. Organizes entire scope of activities. Mathematically calculates dates and durations. Resource planning and control. Change management and analysis. Manages large networks of dependencies. It's a visual representation of the plan. And you can also do progress tracking and reporting. Despite the significant contributions that CPM scheduling has made over the past half century, it is important to acknowledge that it also has inherent weaknesses. These challenges stem from both the tools and methods used in CPM scheduling. Here are some of the key challenges that CPM scheduling faces on projects. It's difficult to spot issues and easy to bury problems. Erratic durations and complex relationships add complexity. Fluctuating resource requirements cause inefficiencies. There's a focus on early dates that makes consistent delay as most probable. And you're constantly pushing, getting burnout and unrealistic expectations. Tact planning directly addresses the weaknesses of CPM that I mentioned earlier. It should not be considered a direct replacement of classic CPM scheduling, but rather represents a logical progression in the evolution of planning. CPM scheduling has provided a solid foundation for methodical planning, and tact planning now takes that foundation and optimizes it for better flow. Here are some ways in which tact planning builds upon the foundation laid by CPM. Organized structure with equalized zones and activities. Correct logic can be easily verified. It creates a steady rhythm and natural trade flow. Uniform structure brings problems to the surface. It levels resources and improves the trade efficiencies. Provides a steady and sustainable pace. And it's easy to understand on a single page. Predictable patterns play a crucial role in eliminating confusion and significantly reducing human error. Air traffic controllers rely on predetermined traffic patterns to safely and efficiently manage high volumes of flights where there are substantial risks and unpredictable variables. Drawing parallels between air traffic control and construction management, we recognize the need for structure and stable patterns. While air traffic controllers manage complex airspace, construction management deals with intricate project logistics and coordination. Traditional CPM schedules are broken down into tasks with varied durations and relationships. In contrast, A tacted schedule breaks down the scope into equalized work zones and tasks. This allows for more balanced distribution of work for better flow. With the traditional CPM schedule, you have varied durations and lags. The progress can be subjective and delays are fluid, and it's more complex and sporadic. However, with the Tact plan, you see smaller, more balanced work areas, balanced scopes and crews, clearly defined flow, and it's easily understood and controlled. Notice the durations haven't changed, but the structures received more of a rhythm. With Tact plans, they offer a unique advantage in visualizing the past, present, and future of a project on a single page. This condensed representation allows a quicker understanding and internalization compared to traditional schedules. By presenting the project timeline in a concise format, Tact plans provide a holistic view of the project's progress and future milestones. This enables project stakeholders to easily grasp the overall project status and anticipate upcoming work. Baseline comparison tools are unnecessary in Tact planning. The uniformity created by a Tact plan allows any variances and issues to stand out prominently, providing a clear picture of the project's status and history. Within Tact, stakeholders can tap on specific activities to access detailed information regarding the reasons for variance and any accompanying notes about delays or issues. With the high visibility and easy maintenance of Tact plans, project teams can shift their focus towards identifying and proactively removing future roadblocks. More time is dedicated to studying the future, and less time is spent on maintenance and reactive problem solving. With a clear and predictable schedule, teams can anticipate potential challenges and obstacles more easily. This enables them to take proactive measures to address these roadblocks before they become fires to put out. The Empire State Building in New York City serves as an exemplary example of Tact or pacemaker scheduling. Tact planning can be applied to various project types and construction methodologies. While projects with repetitive tasks may initially lend themselves more easily to Tact planning, the principles and benefits extend well beyond repetitive projects. In addition to Tact planning, there are many other manufacturing principles that apply well to construction scheduling. Many individuals get caught up in the intricacies of production laws and the 8 wastes. Instead of overwhelming you with an extensive list of laws and theories, I'd like to share a few of the principles that I have found to be most impactful and useful. Overproduction is very wasteful. One trade finishing work early does not help the project if the other trades are not also early. Smaller batch sizes increase the throughput. Smaller work zones will let you stagger trades more closely and finish sooner. There is always a bottleneck. Identify it. If you can improve it, find the next bottleneck. There's always variation. Accept that variation occurs regularly and unpredicted events occur. Add sufficient buffers. Limit work in process and finish as you go. It doesn't help you to have a lot of loose ends hanging out everywhere. Focus on overall throughput. Think of the big picture rather than individual efficiencies. There are 3 types of flow to consider in a Tact plan. Workflow. This refers to the smooth handoffs between trades within a zone. It ensures efficient coordination and collaboration between trades. Trade flow pertains to the movement of a single crew or trade through the various zones of a project, minimizing unnecessary disruptions. Logistical flow involves strategically sequencing the zones to maintain an organized and methodical project flow. It aims to optimize access to resources, materials, and equipment. With all the benefits considered, now let's talk about the process for creating a Tact plan. Here's the basic process. As with any plan, it starts by carefully studying the drawings and scope of work to determine the required workload in each zone. The next step is to divide the project into zones, ensuring they contain equal amounts of work. It is crucial to carefully sequence these zones to effectively support site logistics. Collaboration with the trades is essential for the next step, where you will work together to pole plan a single zone, defining the sequence of detailed subtasks. Afterwards, you can package these subtasks into tasks of equal duration. Exploring options to optimize the number of tasks and zones to meet project objectives comes next. Conducting a thorough analysis of risks and potential variances and adding appropriate buffers to the plan is highly recommended. Once each phase is complete, it is important to integrate it with other project phases. Lastly, gathering the entire team to review the plan, identify weaknesses, and make necessary improvements is crucial. The following pages or the following slides will provide a more detailed description of these steps. The first step will be to analyze your plans and determine the work density. Start by thoroughly examining the contract documents to gain a deep understanding of the scope. This involves analyzing the work involved within each area of the project. Once you have this understanding, create a detailed heat map that quantifies the effort between 1 to 9 required for each section of the project. This heat map, known as the work density map, serves as a valuable tool to guide the process of creating equalized zones. Sum the number in each zone of the heat map to see how balanced they are and adjust accordingly. It is a good practice to find intuitive and natural dividing lines between zones. Next, you need to determine the sequence of the zones. Creating properly balanced zones is a crucial aspect of a Tact plan. By carefully dividing the project into balanced zones, you can achieve more consistent and predictable durations. When balancing zones, it is important to focus on key trades to ensure a smooth flow through bottlenecks. Additionally, it is crucial to pay careful attention to the sequence of zones. This ensures that critical access to deliveries, resources, and equipment is not hindered during the process of construction. The logistical sequence of zones is detrimental to the flow of the project. The next step is to pole plan the subtasks. Select a representative zone and facilitate a collaborative pole planning session involving all trades. During this session, work closely to list out all the detailed tasks, including their respective durations and crew sizes. Together, arrange these tasks into a logical sequence that garners consensus and agreement from all participants. The aim is to create a plan that everyone can buy into. Next, identify a natural cadence within your subtasks to establish your Tact period, which is your standardized task duration. Typically, a Tact period of 4 or 5 days is common, although this can vary greatly, depending on the specific project needs. Carefully package the detailed subtasks into tasks with durations equal to the Tact period, ensuring a balanced workload for each task. This helps to establish a steady rhythm. You can combine various work items within tasks, including concurrent, non-conflicting subtasks. Where possible, it is good to have one trade take ownership of each task, though trades often need to share task periods. Visualize the handoffs between trades and consider the flow of crews from one zone to the next. It is advisable to incorporate reasonable buffers within less predictable tasks to account for potential variations. By establishing a consistent Tact period, organizing tasks appropriately, and incorporating buffers, you will enhance the efficiency and flow of work within each zone. To address bottlenecks or slower operations within the system, you should break down larger tasks to fit within the Tact time. Adjusting the scope included in each task, along with crew sizes, can help balance their durations. In this example, the first task encompasses an excessive amount of scope, which necessitates splitting it into 2 separate tasks. This division allows for better balance and control. The subsequent tasks required slight adjustments in crew size to equalize their durations, ensuring a balanced workload across tasks. By strategically dividing tasks and optimizing crew sizes, project teams can alleviate bottlenecks and maintain a consistent project flow. This is an example of how a task with subtasks and a task buffer is presented within Tact. There are multiple ways to accommodate larger scopes of work. Trades with longer scopes can be broken down into multiple tasks, each assigned to separate crews and run sequentially. This approach ensures the integrity of the Tact time rhythm. It also allows crews to specialize in part of the scope and benefit more from the learning curve. Shorter tasks also allow progress issues to be noticeable earlier. Another option is to utilize leapfrogging crews. With this method, each crew remains in the same zone until their entire scope is completed over the span of multiple Tact periods. Then they skip over the next zone where a second crew is already working. This method reduces the number of handoffs required. Tact easily accommodates both methods. Shorter scopes can be combined. Trades with shorter scopes can share a Tact period with another trade. These shorter trades can split the duration, though it is important to note that this approach may create gaps in work for these trades from zone to zone, which may need to be balanced using other methods. Alternately, trades with smaller non-conflicting scopes can combine within a Tact period and coordinate their work together within the same space. Once you have established your balanced zones, tasks, and Tact time, it is important to take a step back and assess what you have created. Take note of the overall phase duration and the duration for each trade. Perform sanity checks to evaluate the plan. Does it align with the project requirements? Can it be further optimized? Explore various schedule options by adjusting the number of zones, Tact time, and crew sizes. With tighter staggering, you can reduce your overall phase duration without compromising trade durations. It's worth noting that these incremental adjustments may not produce linear outcomes due to whole day rounding. In this example, doubling the number of zones while cutting the Tact time in half leads to the same trade duration, 40 days, but with a 25% reduction in the overall phase duration, reducing from 80 to 60 days. This works because smaller work zones allow the trades to follow each other more closely. However, it is important to note that there is a reasonable limit to how small zones can be. Creating too many zones can become unmanageable and restrictive. This situation is commonly referred to as over-tacting. The optimization process may involve multiple iterations and require you to revisit previous steps of the Tact creation process. A delicate balance needs to be achieved to ensure the plan is both efficient and practical for implementation. Although Tact planning aims to standardize tasks and zones, there are instances where unique tasks are necessary, especially for activities like inspections or unique features of work. Picture it as a one-off task that has been added in Tact. To mitigate risks and account for the inherent variability in construction, it is crucial to incorporate buffers into your Tact schedule. These buffers serve as pockets of contingency, absorbing impacts and safeguarding milestone dates, while maintaining the rhythm and flow of your Tact plan. End buffers are positioned after the final activity of a phase. Buffer tasks within a task sequence, you can create a protective fire break after a riskier scopes of work. Task buffers. Adding reasonable buffers within your subtasks allows for some natural variations. Capacity buffers involve allocating additional resources such as labor and equipment beyond what is theoretically required. This surplus capacity acts as a safeguard. Less critical areas can be designated as backlog work areas, which can absorb excess capacity. Milestones play a crucial role in providing context and highlighting key dates that hold significance for the project. This screenshot from Tact shows a few key milestones. Milestones serve as important markers, representing significant events, achievements, or project goals. They help project teams monitor critical deadlines and maintain alignment with project objectives. Different phases are established to accommodate distinct flows of work. These phases can encompass a range of unique sequences, such as site work, structural work, exteriors, rough-ins, finishes, and more. Each phase can feature a unique set of zones, Tact periods, and tasks. Once each phase is built, it is crucial to establish logical connections with the other phases to create a cohesive project plan. This ensures a smooth transition from one phase to another. In the provided example from Tact, multiple phases are linked together through individual logic ties. At this stage, you have now developed a comprehensive Tact plan. It is now time to conduct a final sanity check in collaboration with the entire team. This is the opportune moment to raise questions, challenge assumptions, and thoroughly evaluate the plan before it is finalized and published. Take the time to critically assess the plan from various perspectives. During the team review, encourage open discussion and seek input from all stakeholders involved. This collective examination of the plan allows for the identification of any potential weaknesses, gaps, or areas that require further refinement. Having successfully built your project's Tact plan, it is now time to focus on its maintenance. Fortunately, maintaining a Tact plan can be a streamlined process. However, it is important to consider how to handle various situations when work deviates from the original plan. In the remaining slides, we will cover the following topics: updating the schedule status, focus during execution, weekly work plan, managing change, and metrics and reporting. Similar to other scheduling methods, it is crucial to track the progress of your Tact plan to identify any deviations. Regular updates enable early detection of issues and facilitate timely corrections, if required. In this example from Intact, completed tasks are visually grayed out on the left side of the screen. The center section displays a blue area representing the current work period. Any delays occurring within this period will prompt for an associated delay reason for reporting purposes. Due to the standardized nature of Tact schedules, the process of analyzing and maintaining them is relatively straightforward. Tact planning shifts the focus away from managing complex schedules and directs attention towards proactively identifying and eliminating future roadblocks well in advance. In this example, roadblocks are highlighted with the hazard symbol on upcoming tasks, enabling clear visualization of upcoming issues that require resolution. In Intact, these roadblocks are directly linked to a roadblocks log, allowing for comprehensive tracking and management of issues. Implement short interval planning techniques to effectively manage subtasks. Utilizing tools like Intact, pictured here, you can streamline the process by automatically populating your weekly work plan with the standard subtasks established during the initial poll planning session. Once created, these standard subtasks will pre-populate under each task in the schedule, eliminating the need for repetitive data entry. These subtasks can later be individually added, modified, or deleted as necessary on a regular basis. With Intact, the process of managing subtasks becomes remarkably user-friendly, particularly for crew leads. They can easily drag and drop tasks, assign them to team members, and update the status by simply tapping checkboxes each day from any device. This user-friendly interface simplifies the daily management of tasks, empowering superintendents and foremen to efficiently plan and track detailed progress. Despite our best efforts, delays and unexpected events will still occur. Tact planning offers various strategies for addressing such delays. It is essential to analyze tasks that frequently experience challenges in meeting their deadlines and identify any bottlenecks to these operations. You should always explore options to increase the capacity of these bottlenecks. When necessary, you can overlap with or delay subsequent tasks to accommodate late work. In situations where an unresolved issue hinders the completion of a specific zone, you can proceed with the next zone while creating a small exclusion area to return to once the issue has been resolved. Adjusting logic ties between phases can sometimes absorb impacts. However, it is important to preserve reasonable separation between phases and not make a habit of this practice. You can recover a badly impacted Tact schedule by breaking down your zones further, allowing trades to stagger their work more closely. This, of course, has its limitations. On some occasions, it may be necessary to resequence remaining work. If necessary, project buffers can be drawn down to absorb impacts. These buffers serve as a safeguard to mitigate the effects of unforeseen delays or disruptions, though buffers, like money, can only be spent once. In this scenario, we observe an overhead mechanical task that has exceeded its Tact duration. The user is presented with two options: either push the subsequent task to accommodate the delay or overlap them. Overlapping means allowing the next trade to commence work in the same zone while the previous trade wraps up their activities. Although this approach is not ideal, it can help prevent rippling delays and the utilization of project buffers. It is important to note that in either case, the trade experiencing the delay must provide a reason for the delay, which will be documented in the reports to facilitate continuous improvement efforts. Metrics play a vital role in identifying issues and recognizing trends. They provide visibility into challenges, enabling effective problem solving. Tact plans themselves act as a powerful dashboard, encapsulating the entire project history in a single-page view. However, there are additional metrics that can be utilized. Clean handoffs. This metric tracks the percentage of times a trade successfully hands over their zone to the next trade, on time and with a clean transition. It provides insights into the efficiency and effectiveness of coordination between trades. Variance reasons. This metric, familiar to lean construction professionals, highlights the leading reasons behind task delays. It helps identify the root causes of variations, enabling targeted improvements and proactive mitigation strategies. Task variance, unique to Tact planning. This metric leverages the standardized and repetitive nature of tasks in the schedule. It assists in identifying which tasks and trades face challenges in keeping up with the planned Tact time on a regular basis. Similar to CPM schedules, Tact plans can be resource loaded and enable workforce analysis. Though, due to the great care taken to balance tasks and zones, Tact plan histograms are predictably flat and ideal. Many project owners have specific scheduling requirements outlined in their specifications, which typically call for CPM scheduling. However, there is no need to worry. If your project requires a CPM schedule in a traditional format for reporting purposes, Tact can generate an XML file that can be imported into most major scheduling software. This export functionality allows you to comply with the specified requirements while benefiting from the advantages of Tact planning within Tact. Furthermore, Tact's CPM export functionality can lead to outstanding scores if the project undergoes automated CPM scheduling quality checks. With low durations and a perfectly balanced network of finish-to-start relationships, Tact schedules will rank high in CPM quality metrics. When overlaps occur, Tact even handles the closure of danglers using both start-to-start and finish-to-finish logic. At the conclusion of this bare-bones Tact training, I'm filled with a strong sense of passion for the transformative impact that Tact planning is already having on our industry. It is truly exciting to witness the evolving landscape as Tact planning approaches a tipping point in adoption and industry recognition. The potential benefits it brings to our teams and projects are immense. With Tact planning gaining momentum, we can anticipate a paradigm shift in how construction projects are planned and executed. The principles of Tact planning, rooted in manufacturing methodologies, are revolutionizing the way we approach scheduling and workflow management. The emphasis on standardization, predictable rhythms, and proactive problem solving is reshaping the industry and paving the way for increased efficiency, improved productivity, and enhanced project outcomes. Together, let us embrace the power of Tact planning and unlock the new era of scheduling and construction. In summary, Tact planning transforms what can be a chaotic mix of tasks, durations, and relationships into a structured and controlled process with a steady rhythm. By establishing a clean flow between tasks and zones, Tact planning ensures continuity for trades, enabling them to work efficiently at a sustainable pace. Moreover, Tact planning provides consistency and clarity, making the schedule easily understandable for everyone involved. Tact plans are typically concise and fit on a single page, allowing for a holistic view of the project. Any issues or anomalies can be quickly identified and addressed, promoting timely resolution and effective decision-making. Well, you probably didn't think we'd pull it off. We've gone through all the major principles of building a Tact plan, why do we do Tact planning, how to maintain a Tact plan, all the above in just 30 minutes. Please, if you have any questions about Tact planning, reach out to info@intact.app. We'd love to answer those for you. Thank you.